Hello, race fans. Welcome back to Raceface Drive-In 5 here on raceface.tv. Jacob Seelman in the host chair as always. Case Hockman is back with us for this episode, fresh off a very, I'll add one more because there were 4 races worth. Busy week for you. Got to get into a legend car for the first time, and we'll talk about that in a second. But take me back to Sunday when you're getting ready to do this. I mean, this has been a big deal and something totally different. What were the emotions like, Case, going into this? How excited were you just to have an opportunity like this?
I was really excited because all the videos I watched have got me ready for the race and all the practice I got in my sim. So I was very excited to do it.
I was going to say big deal for you because you are a big iRacer and the Legends cars are that entry level on the sim. So I imagine you were banging out a lot of laps to get ready for this.
Yes, sir.
All right. So for those who don't know, you got in for Redhead Racing and ran both Monday, well, kind of sort of Monday and Tuesday. We'll explain that in a minute at Charlotte for the summer shootout, and then did Wednesday and Thursday as Thursday Thunder down at what used to be Atlanta Motor Speedway is now Echo Park Speedway. All of us who have been there for a while know it is Atlanta, and we'll probably keep referring to it as such. 4 races in 4 straight days. I know weather kind of hampered Charlotte. So instead of getting 2 complete races, you only really got 1 full race in between the rain and the lightning and everything else. But take me through what that was like, because I know you didn't have the testing time that you wanted going in. So a little bit different in that respect. But you knew going in, at least from the sim, kind of a little bit of what to expect at Charlotte. Did the sim laps match up any to what you felt on the racetrack?
A little bit, not too much, but like it was pretty similar.
What so describe for me, take me through what it was like. Obviously, this is your first experience in a legend car on pavement. You've been running the restricted micro sprint on the dirt side. How different was it driving the legend car compared to the micro? What things did you have to do differently?
First off, I obviously have to be really smooth on the wheel and you have to let off and hit brakes. With the restricted, you kind of just go full throttle and like smooth motions with the wheel too, but you kind of got to like shove it in there a little bit.
Was going to say totally different throttle placement then,
And the speed was way different. It was a whole different ball game.
for sure. You feel the speed differently in a legend car, don't you? I've heard a lot of young drivers describe them kind of as twitchy. Did you feel like that? What, not that it was out of control, but just that it was very responsive, I guess, compared to maybe what you're used to.
It was very responsive because immediately that first practice when I hit the gas, the whole car just went pulled my body back like that.
It's all of a sudden like, oh, this is hello, there's a lot to work with
Yeah,
here. All right, so you did get round 1 in. It was a little bit weird experience because the your feature that was supposed to be Monday ended up everything got shuffled around. So you ended up getting to race on Tuesday. Take me through the race, kind of how it went for you, what you experienced.
oh, we actually got the race Monday and then
Okay,
Tuesday.
so you guys were the one class that ran. It all kind of ran together because most of Monday got pushed to Tuesday for those that didn't follow along on Flow Racing. The weather in Charlotte area was bizarre. We'll just leave it at that. But regardless, take me through your race.
The race was very eventful. First lap, there's a wreck. Got by that pretty easy, and then well, we started from 22nd, and then there there was a time limit, and that kind of screwed
Yep,
us a little bit. So we couldn't get through our whole race, but there
yep.
was a whole lot of crashes, and it was crazy. And then it started raining, so we went from 22nd to 16th.
Uh, what what was it like trying to work your way through traffic? Because with your micro races at Millbridge, you don't usually have 22 cars on the racetrack to start that far back. So I imagine that kind of congestion was probably a bit of a wild experience for you also.
Really, like you got to really look ahead in these cars because if you don't, like if a wreck happens right in front of you, it's probably not going to
Yeah,
end very well.
I was going to say, but with it, to describe the Charlotte straightaway as being narrow is kind of an understatement. So if somebody goes around in the middle of the pack, basically you're in it. There is no time to get out of the way.
Yes, sir.
All right. So ended up I know on paper maybe the results not what you wanted from Charlotte, but what do you feel like kind of learning some of the differences from the sim to how it reacted and just having an understanding of hey, this is a really tough field where that there were some positives for you out of that first race?
Yes, sir. Definitely. iRacing like helps you get the line down, but like not vibration or the kickback, but like it's it's wild.
So moving to Wednesday and Thursday at Atlanta because, of course, the rain follows you from Charlotte to Atlanta by the time we get to Thursday. But the good news for you was at least you were able to get both races in at Atlanta Wednesday and Thursday. Got a 10th place finish on Wednesday out of it, but I know it's a lot of learning too that, maybe the results on paper this week don't tell the tale of exactly how much you were able to absorb and take away. What are some of the things you feel like you learned from these three features that you got to run this week about how to drive the legend car?
And easing onto the gas, using brakes, passing cars, driving off the bottom really helps you there.
So I'm curious because you're one of the few drivers so far this summer that's driven both. When you got to Atlanta, I know everybody looks at them and goes, "Oh, they're built exactly the same." Did it feel the same as Charlotte, or did it feel a whole lot different driving Atlanta compared to what you experienced at Charlotte?
A whole lot different because Atlanta's a bit shorter and Charlotte's longer, and
And the pavement, I know at Atlanta is a lot fresher too. So I imagine you talked about it feeling fast at Charlotte. Did it feel even faster at times at Atlanta just because of the newer pavement?
yeah, it was definitely faster because Charlotte, I wasn't hitting the rev limiter very well, but then at Atlanta, I was hitting the rev limiter on the front stretch.
I'm curious, what was the biggest thing that you felt like you struggled with or the thing that you want to work on going into your next legend car race?
Getting on the gas heavier, definitely getting on the gas and getting better lap times.
So you felt like you didn't necessarily push it as hard as the car could go.
Yeah,
Hey, it like you said, it's a learning experience, particularly for somebody to have never driven a legend car and go to Charlotte and Atlanta for your first three. I described it as basically like a quarterback coming out of college and going straight to play in the Super Bowl. That was heavy competition that you were up against all 3 days. Did it feel tough in the race? I mean, I've heard a lot of people describe it as when you're all going the same speed, it makes it hard to go anywhere.
definitely. Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, it's hard because everybody's been racing the legend cars for 2 years or 3 years, and I'm the
I was going to say, then
that.
there's you that had three
Yeah,
races, by the end of the week had three races. So I know the good news for you is that we're planning on seeing you back in the shootout. You're going to get to make up the race that got rain postponed. Plus, you'll get Tuesday night. What are you now that you have at least some laps at Charlotte under your belt? What are you hoping to work on and achieve going into this next week of the shootout?
Better entries, better entries, because I was way high on the entry and not driving on that yellow line to get it down to the bottom quicker.
And you learned real quick that if you're not on that yellow line, somebody's gonna have their front bumper inside you, and you're gonna get pushed out of the way real
I
fast.
learned that at Atlanta quick.
Absolutely, Case. I know you're excited about it. Whole new experience for you, but I have to imagine at the same time too. I mean, this is the first time, even though it's a different car, it's the first time that you've been able to consistently be in the race in any race car other than the race at Port City back a few weeks ago. Are you excited, feeling a little bit better at just getting in a rhythm for yourself and being back with a helmet on more often?
Yes, sir, I am. It's been iRacing every day since then too.
I, and as much as iRacing helps you, I think you would tell me there's no substitute for actually strapping in and putting the helmet on and going to work, is there?
There's not.
Is it did you feel that adrenaline rush this week getting to do something different for the first time?
I did. It was like as soon as I got in that first practice at Charlotte, then it was like,
It
let's
all
go.
hits y'all. I was gonna
Yeah.
say it all hits y'all at once too. I know it's not necessarily in your division, but I'm curious as somebody who has watched a lot of these guys on TV, was there kind of a cool factor? Did your eyes get a little big when you got to the shootout, knowing that you're there and guys like Kyle Busch and Bubba Wallace and SVG are even though they're not in your division, that's all in the same garage. You're all there to do the same thing.
Yeah, I was definitely really excited because I also talked to Brexton and Keelan Harvick and talked to all those guys. It was very exciting.
Were you able to get any advice from any of them, or were they keeping that close to the vest?
And no, I didn't really get any advice from them. Just I learned just to
I was
keep
going
it
to
on the
say,
bottom.
just cool to have that experience though, and be in the same area as those guys. I know you're excited, Case, and I'm sitting here looking out, looking back out my window, hoping that the rain holds off for next week so you could get two fully dry, uninterrupted races at Charlotte in. Real quick, I know you've got some thank yous that you need to touch on, sponsors, people that helped you make this opportunity possible. Who do you need to give a shout out to?
Redhead Racing and Jacob and Caleb, that was with them working on my car, and I can't thank all my sponsors enough. APR Auto, Central Florida Transport, Bryce Gummer Racing, Velocity USA, Miss Marie Salon, Ambassador Racing School, and Friends of Jackman Foundation, and Miss Sam.
All right, Case, we're excited for you. For those who want to follow along at home, both rounds of the summer shootout next week will be streamed live on Flow Racing. That's Monday the 16th and Tuesday the 17th. And Case, we'll look forward to seeing what you can do when you get back at it and see how things go for you in the transition to pavement.
All right, thank you.
That's Case Hockman. I'm Jacob Seelman. As always, this has been Raceface Drive in 5. We'll see you next time on raceface.tv, your home for everything from all the latest in the world of motorsports day in and day out.